It started on an ordinary Monday, under an overcast sky that matched the dull hum of the city. Nathan Carter, a 34-year-old archivist at the New York Public Library, stepped out of his apartment for his usual morning walk through Washington Square Park. He liked the routine, the way the city stretched awake slowly, like a cat in a sunbeam. He didn't expect to meet anyone that day, let alone change the course of his life. As he passed by a bench near the fountain, a man in a brown wool coat and scuffed leather shoes stood abruptly and approached him. His eyes were intense, darting like he was being followed. He looked no older than 50, with salt and pepper stubble and skin weathered by time and travel. "Please," the man said, thrusting a small black box into Nathan's hands. It was heavy for its size, cold, and smooth like marble. "What is this?" Nathan asked, confused. "Guard it. Do not try to open it. Don't give it to anyone." The man glanced over his shoulder. "They'll come for it. But you must never let them." Before Nathan could protest, the man turned, dashed across the park, and was gone. Vanished into the crowd. Just like that. Nathan looked down at the object in his hands. No seams, no hinges. Just a cube about 6 inches wide, covered in strange, almost organic etchings, like roots carved into obsidian. And it was locked. Somehow. Came back to his apartment, Nathan placed the box on his kitchen table and stared at it. The etched markings pulsed subtly in the dim light, or perhaps it was a trick of the eye. He touched the surface. It was unnaturally cold. His logical mind dismissed the event as a prank or perhaps a case of mistaken identity. But the man had seemed terrified. His eyes weren't lying. That night, Nathan had dreams. Not normal ones, fractured glimpses of forests filled with whispering trees, shadows with too many limbs, and a woman with no face whispering his name. When he woke, the box was sitting on his nightstand. He was sure he'd left it in the kitchen. The next day, at the library, a woman came to the front desk asking for him. She was tall, dressed in all black, with a European accent he couldn't place. Her name was Elise. "You recently came into possession of a rare artifact," she said, smiling too warmly. "A black box. I believe it was entrusted to you by mistake." Nathan lied, of course. He said he didn't know what she was talking about. The smile faded. Her eyes turned hard. "Mistakes have consequences, Mr. Carter. Be careful who you trust." She left without another word, her heels clicking like gunshots across the marble floor. That night, Nathan returned home to find his apartment ransacked. Nothing stolen. Except the box, moved again. This time, it sat on his pillow. Unable to resist, Nathan took the box to his friend Daniela, a cryptographer at NYU. She was fascinated and promised to examine it. The next morning, she was gone. Her apartment was abandoned, her phone disconnected, her research lab wiped clean. In her place was a note, handwritten, "Some doors must stay shut. You've already turned the handle." Nathan's paranoia grew. People began watching him, across the street, on subway platforms, reflections in store windows that didn't match the angle. He stopped sleeping. He started drinking. But he never let the box out of his sight. Then he found it, a small indentation on the bottom, hidden under a flap of blackened wood. A lock. A keyhole shaped like a spiral. Desperate, Nathan followed a series of clues left by the vanished man's earlier movements: hotel receipts, library searches, a train ticket to a small town upstate. There, in a crumbling church-turned-bookstore, he discovered the Spiral Society, a defunct secret order from the late 1800s that believed reality was layered, and that certain artifacts could open the boundaries between those layers. The box was one such artifact. It was called the Sealed Gate. Its twin had been opened once in 1897. The result was a week of madness, an asylum burned to the ground, and the sudden disappearance of 47 people. And then the trail went cold. Until now. Nathan found the key, hidden in a hollowed-out volume of The King in Yellow, buried in the basement of the bookstore. He knew he shouldn't use it. But the box began whispering to him. Late at night. Calling his name. Promising answers. He waited until the full moon, poured a circle of salt, lit a candle, locked the door, and turned the key. The box clicked once, then opened. Inside, a single sheet of paper with writing that changed while you looked at it. It seemed to know what you were afraid of, what you wanted, what you needed. And then the walls began to breathe. Reality tore at the edges. Nathan was pulled, no, invited, through the box into another version of his apartment. Almost the same, but not quite. No sound, no outside world. Just endless night through the windows and something pacing in the hallway. Something large, wet, hungry. He wandered this version of his life, each object slightly wrong. Photos of him with people he'd never met, newspaper clippings of disasters that never happened. He wasn't alone. Others were trapped there too, ghosts of the curious, echoing warnings in 1,000 tongues. One of them was Daniela. "Close it," she whispered, "while you still can." Nathan barely escaped. He had to burn the paper, throw the box into a church crypt, and walk 20 miles through snow to find the edge of that place. When he awoke, it was 3 days later, in Central Park. His clothes were shredded, his beard grown longer, nails chipped and blackened. But he was home. The city was normal. The box was gone. Months passed. Nathan tried to move on. Therapy didn't help. He no longer trusted reflections. Birds watched him too long. And sometimes, just before sleep, he heard the box clicking. Then one day, walking in the park, he saw a young woman on a bench. She looked confused, holding something in her hands. A black cube. She turned to him and said, "A man gave me this and ran. He said not to open it. But I think I saw it move." Nathan stared, a cold dread rising in his throat. He put his hand on her shoulder and smiled. "I know exactly what to do."